All right, starting out with some dumbbell laterals today. Well, not today, Friday, but partial dumbbell laterals. And with this, I'm going into superset these with full laterals. So the goal of today's work, or the goal of the workout that day, rather, was to push a maximum amount of blood in the muscle, um, have a decent amount of volume, and then just leave the gym with a nice full pump, as I feel that shoulders and arms respond better to more metabolic style training, so supersets, drop sets, things of that nature. So with the partial laterals, which is something I got from Victor Martinez and John Meadows, those really hit the side head, the medial delt, really hard. And then when you superset it with a super ROM, super range of motion lateral, basically laterals that go way above your head and ears. You got that from Dr. Mike Israel. That really just kind of finishes off that range of motion that you don't get with the partial laterals. So this was a good, nice little superset that I put together. Really worked well. And the reason why I started out a workout with a superset is, again, more metabolic stress on a muscle to start it out. I feel, like I said, shoulders and arms respond to more of a metabolic style, higher volume style of training. They do get a lot of secondary work in a lot of the other body parts that you do, like back or chest or anything like that. But it's important to note too that when you do work them on their own, you don't have to do a whole lot of heavy ass weight. So intensity, 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 different techniques to bring a lot of blood into the muscle, acknowledging that blood volume can be part of your training program when applied correctly, things of that nature. So another good reason was to warm me up for presses. So if you have shoulder issues, it's always wise to warm up for your presses. Reason being is that the shoulder is a very vulnerable joint. So you want to make sure that it's nice and warm before you even get to your work sets for presses, right? I'm not a strong presser. The Viking press is a nemesis of mine. So when I do it regularly, I can do it fairly decently. But man, it beats me. So I think I got around about between 6, 7 reps or so per set. I did around about 3, 4 sets here, one of them being a warm-up set. It's tough. It's tough, but I'm not looking to break world records in my overhead press. But what I am going to try to do is I'm going to try to push those numbers up a little bit more. So this is an interesting exercise. This is the Y lateral, or the crucifix lateral. It basically works like a super range of motion, but instead of me pulling the dumbbells up to my side, what I'm striving to do is I'm pulling the cables up and I'm trying to pull them back. So at the top of the movement, if you've ever seen an Olympic snatch, my arms are kind of in that position, snatched back. So that provides a real strong contraction on the medial head. You can't go super heavy on these, but you can get stronger at them. You're going to get a little bit of trap. It's okay. You'll live. It won't hurt you. So that's a great exercise. If you've never done it before, I encourage you all to do it. It is a good finisher to your workout. So here is the beginning of a superset that I like to call the Melvin Anthony. Why do I call it the Melvin Anthony? Well, there's a couple of different reasons. One, is because it's a superset modeled after a video that came out around about 2000 that showed Melvin Anthony getting ready for the 99 USA, and that's how he kicked off his arm workout. Was a superset of tricep press downs, and then go right into 21s. So, why do I like this one so much? It's really just an overall arm builder. For years, I started off with this superset and actually built up a pretty decent set of arms doing it. Not that my arms were terrible before, but they just got a little bit better. 21s, I had to watch it because the tension. Because the tension does drop off at some point. It does drop off at some point. So you really have to watch your range of motion. Like when I lowered the barbell in the bottom half, I really wasn't trying to lower it all the way. And when I was doing the full reps, notice that I was doing the reps just short of letting it down all the way. So I'm just trying to keep a lot of tension on the muscle. Like I just didn't want the bar to touch my thighs. Is essentially what I'm getting at. So I think Joe Bennett did a variation of 21s, but on the cable. I didn't look at it before this workout, so I wasn't able to institute it. But next time I probably will. I know a lot of people are thinking, oh, cables aren't really anything to do. Cables really aren't the way to build muscle. I'm like, yeah, they are a way to build muscle. So, like, let's just stop with the cable slander, and let's just build some big arms. But tension does drop off in the 21s in the barbell curl. So, definitely have to find a way to keep that tension on the muscle and keep it. Yeah, just keep the tension on the muscle, really. So nothing crazy here. I think I did about 3 cycles of this, just going back and forth. Use CAS handles with the prime bar. If you have access to those, I would highly, highly, highly recommend you do that. No elbow pain from gripping the CAS handles at all, as I do have elbow issues. So, yeah, I love them. But you'll see the CAS handles a little bit later in the video, and I'll go into them again. Nothing special here. The Nautilus dip. I've been having trouble with this machine, so I had to reach out again to Ed Koo. I think I mentioned this in a previous video about how to emphasize the triceps in that type of movement, as I feel that the shoulders and triceps shoulders and chest tend to take over a little bit, and really it's just a higher level of focus. That's all it is. So nothing fancy. 3-4 sets, last set being a drop set, but other than that, went in and got the job done. Went on back to biceps, Paramount, preacher curl. Did about 3 sets of 15, just really working on the contraction at the top and making sure that the biceps had a nice little flush before they went on to the next movement. I like this exercise. It's not, look, I tell everybody I like this exercise. There's not many exercises that I don't like if I'm in the mood for it. But a machine preacher curl is something that I will almost always gravitate towards, just because I think it's a high quality movement. I think it's something that everyone should do. I usually do these single arm, but today I did a double arm for the essence of time, and that's essentially it. Finished off biceps with the cable curl. These were the ones I was supposed to use CAS handles on, but I forgot I used normal handles. But if you use CAS handles, they're just good. So when you do them on the free motion machine, you want to step forward and make sure you get a nice, good stretch at the bottom. This is an exercise that you can push to failure. That is an exercise that I'm pretty sure Dr. Mike would push you to use myo reps on. But this is a really, really good exercise. Another exercise I would probably replace this for and place earlier in the routine would be incline dumbbell curls. So a couple of arm training tips. Unless it's like a barbell curl or an alternate dumbbell curl, if the tension drops off, you kind of have to make, in my opinion, you have to make that up with a little bit more load than you normally would, because the tension drops off. So you need to smash it with a little bit heavier weight than you normally would. That's for biceps. For triceps, it's a bit different. You want to make sure you emphasize that contraction. So say right here, I'm doing an extension. So I stopped the reps a little short because of my elbow pain. I'm old. If my elbows were good, I'm going to go all the way to the top, squeeze that tricep, and then let that bar come all the way down and give my triceps a really good stretch. But there's a part of that motion that just the tension just drops off. So find that tension area and work with it. So that's your arm training tips today. Nothing fancy, just some good old-fashioned hard work. All right. Thanks a lot, guys. Thank you for watching.